You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's The Game After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The Game After Show.
Roll with it, roll with it. Welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV, The Game After Show, Season 7, Episode 3. We missed Kelly Pitts. I'm Brendan London, the cultured athlete, and we have my lovely co-host to the left, to the right, my boy, and our special guest over there smiling at me. Why are you smiling at me?
I don't know who these people are.
You don't know who these people
I
are?
actually do, but there's some people that probably don't know.
So we're going to treat you
because we don't need introductions.
So tonight we're going to treat her like we've never met her before. Like she's royalty. Like she's actually on the show because she was on the show tonight. Meg Scoop,
That's so funny.
Megan Thomas, but we're not going to get into that. I'm going to let you introduce yourself. To the right of me, I have the birthday girl, the lovely Fallon Mercedes. Oh.
Hey everyone. You can
Get it.
find me on Instagram, Twitter, at Fit with Fallon. Hey.
Happy birthday, Fallon.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Stop.
Happy birthday.
Thank you,
Bro,
everyone.
What's that? Did you guys hear
And I
that?
would like to say, you know, it was great to celebrate my birthday and see
your
Kelly
birthday.
Pitts back
Party.
on the
Yes.
show.
It's your
I am a
birthday.
big fan of her. I feel like I was a big fan of the original cast of the game. So to see her back, it just excited me. And then to see a special someone on the show that I know,
Who?
that was
Who
really
you know?
exciting.
Who you know on the show?
One of
No.
my girls.
We're treating her tonight like we never met her before. She was here in the AFTERBUZZ studio. Did you get popcorn? Did they treat you nice in here?
Yeah. They treated me real nice up in her.
You
in
talk
her.
like that?
Yes. I
Okay,
do.
yeah, we got.
I
Some
wonder
of
if she did that
some
on
of
her
good stuff.
audition too for the reporter role.
Who are y'all, by the way?
Oh,
Okay, so what's up, everyone? I am Ashley Gray. Make sure that you tweet me if you have any questions or comments regarding the show at Hey Ashley Gray. And you can also find me on Instagram at Ashley Nina Marie Gray.
And the handsome person to the left of Ashley
Oh,
is
where?
none other than.
Sorry.
To your left.
Brandon.
We gonna start
left
really?
of me.
Really?
No.
I guess to your right if you're watching on your screens or your laptops. I'm Kevin John. You can find me on Twitter at Hey Kevin John, Instagram at Hey Kevin John, or my website itskevinjohn.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. B, what you got for us?
I'm Brendan London, the cultured athlete. So people have been telling me they don't understand what I say when I say that. The cultured athlete. I am on Twitter on the cultured athlete and on Instagram the cultured athlete. But this lovely lady right here on our couch
Megan
today,
is cracking.
she's
up
just
over
waiting
there.
for us to
Yeah.
introduce
No,
her.
it ain't even that. I'm like, we done took forever with these introductions. If y'all don't know us by now.
It's cool. It's cool. But the lovely lady we have here is the news reporter on the scene. I don't even want to talk about it. Megan Thomas, tell them who you are. Tell them how you feel about your whole the game.
Well,
experience.
I'll be honest. It was amazing to be on the set of the game. And in case you guys didn't know, yes, I made an appearance as the news reporter that helped break the story that no longer was Jason Pitts gonna be outed for his steroid use. But just being on set was amazing. The whole writing staff was there. They were so awesome. I mean, they rolled the red carpet out for me, and I was like, "Why?" Like, I'm so excited. I would have come here.
So,
I
don't say
would've-
for free. Don't
I
say
would
for free.
have been like the janitor. Whatever, because it was just so amazing just to be there.
You would be so believable in a janitor role.
Yes.
So you'd be the finest janitor I've ever seen.
No,
Anyways,
she'd be the janitor that Malik would like hit on and pick up and make him his
that is
wife.
true. Yeah, and they would go. Yeah. So, Megan, out of curiosity, when you were shooting, you were actually seen on TV. So did they shoot that particular part on set with everyone there, or is that shot another time? Since you kind of understand what I'm saying?
Well, what happened is it was actually green screen. So everything that you saw on the camera, was not there. It literally was a green screen behind us in a desk. So me and the anchor, which is Kendrick Cross, we were both just right there. There was nothing else there. But I did get to see everybody in the cast. They were shooting different scenes. It was crazy. I mean, I learned some new stuff being a fan of the show, and then sitting there and just, walking around the sets was amazing. I didn't know this, but guess what? So Keira's apartment and Blue's apartment is the same exact set, except they moved the background. Like, how she has that chalkboard wall? They just literally just like moved that off, and they, I guess, take some of her decorations down. I was like, how awesome is that? And then Jason Pitt's apartment. Who else? Oh, and Fatty's. All of that is indoors. There's like no outdoors. So they really make it look so believable every time you watch it on TV and you think they're outside on the deck. But they're not.
Now, who was the nicest person in the cast to you?
Oh gosh, there was so many. Everybody was nice.
Nice like being nice, not nice trying to holler.
No, everybody was just
good
nice.
Distinction, Brandon. You need to know the distinction between the two.
Everybody was sweet. I'm talking about from the hair and makeup people. From shout out to Kenny Smith, who is executive producer and writer. He's amazing.
Not the basketball player.
I'll probably say Kenny. Kenny was the nicest. He showed me around to the different sets, and he introduced me to everybody. I mean,
can we go on like a school trip, all of us from AFTERBUZZ?
Yes, girl, we're gonna have to fly to Atlanta though.
My mama, we want all of us to be flown down and shown around. And,
right.
Really?
Right.
Yeah, you said they wrote out the red carpet treatment. What exactly is the red carpet treatment they wrote out?
Well, first of all, everybody is nice. What I did is called a co-star role. So I was only there for one day. I had my own trailer. They put reporter on the door. I was like, yay! But they were just so nice. I'm talking about like the crafty girl. I had like a green smoothie. Like everything was just so nice, and they were kind. And the writers are a really big fan of our after show recap. So shout out to all the writers on the game. We're not gonna go easy on y'all. Sorry. Nope. In the recap show.
Nope.
I'm like,
Ashley, especially as a professional athlete. Nope. We're not letting them go. But.
Unfortunately, we're giving you the fans' perspective because we're fans, so we have to give it how we see it, and we're going to keep it real and that's great for them as well because they can see different perspectives. One week we may love an episode, and the second week we may be like, meh, that could have been better. But all in all, of course, we support what they're doing and we love the show. But it's some episodes that are not as good.
Not as good, but you know what? This was a cool episode, so let's get this thing started. We start off with Kelly Pitts versus Chardonnay. We see Jason is talking to Malik on the phone, and they're talking about the tie scandal, whatever. Then Chardonnay and Brittany is getting into an argument about who knows prom or whatever that thing was, or Sweet 16 like MTV used to do for the rich girls. Ding dong! Who shows up at the door? My girl Kelly Pitts. What do you guys think? What do you think about her return right now?
I love Kelly Pitts. She's a part of the original crew. I predicted this last season that Kelly was going to come back. However, the way that she came back, I kind of didn't like. When she came to the door and was like, "Did you miss me?" I feel like that was inappropriate. Your ex-husband is now married to another woman. Even if it was a joke, I feel that it was inappropriate. And if I was Chardonnay, I don't know if I would have been as accepting, even though that's my stepdaughter's mom. I don't know. The respect is a big thing for me.
So what would a woman have to do, or in athlete's term, in terms, an ex-baby mama, what would they have to do to make you feel more welcome, to make you feel at ease with the situation at hand? Because that's a tense situation.
Well, she's not a baby mama. She's a wife. And because she used to be a wife and this is not my husband's ex-wife, I'm going to respect that. They had a relationship. I respect that. However, there are certain things that you should say and certain things that you should not say. And I feel that when Kelly Pitts was like, "Oh, did you miss me?" that was inappropriate. That was just so left field and inappropriate.
I think what should happen is I think Kelly and her should go out alone and try to build a relationship, because as the new wife, Chardonnay is going to have this relationship with her daughter. They're always going to be linked to each other, kind of like what Kelly said. I'm always going to have, Jason's back. So I think they need to get on the same terms one-on-one and try to, get along with each other for the sake of the entire family. I think if Jason is just spending time with each one-on-one, it's never going to work out. There's always going to be some jealousy, some insecurity, and the fact that Kelly is kissing Jason.
You got into that already? I thought we were going to wait for that. We're going to ease into that.
Fellas, let's just get straight to it.
This is the hello.
Like, that's obviously there is still unresolved love and passion there that, they miss each other so much. And it's real. And I think everybody needs to come to terms with it.
See, that's the problem. Problem is you have an ex, okay? Her and Jason were together for how long? How long were they married? 20 years.
Okay, that's a long time.
20 years. Long time. Through that, you had a beautiful daughter. There's no way on earth that love is ever going to die or leave 100%. Nope. That love is always going to be there.
Exactly, that's the thing.
So, with that being said, there's always going to be tension, especially with a snap-talking,
I don't think
Chardonnay in the picture. That the tension is always going to be there.
I'm going to stop you right there because the way that you just depicted Chardonnay is completely wrong because she didn't act that way. Chardonnay was not.
Did you watch the episode?
Yes, I did. But given her background, and we know how ratchet Chardonnay used to be, she has grown, and her maturity level is not what it. I mean, she's developed into a woman. She could have easily snatched her and been like, "Get out my house,"
okay,
but she did not.
Ashley, I know you're trying to defend all ratchet women out there.
No, I'm not trying to defend all ratchet women. What I'm trying to say is that Chardonnay, everything that she did was appropriate. She did not act out of character. Right. Like she was not doing anything that she did not have the right to do.
Right.
You can't exactly. Come on.
Because the thing is,
bring it home, baby. Bring it home.
As a woman, when you come to another woman's home, it does not matter what your relationship was with her husband. You always direct your attention to the woman. So the first thing she should have done when she saw Jason, she should have been like, "Oh, there's your wife. Hi, let me talk to your wife. Let me let her know I'm not here to take your place. I'm not I'm literally here because my daughter called me to help take care of some of her prom
What she
stuff."
said.
What she said.
Yeah.
And if you notice, Chardonnay was like, she wasn't mean. She wasn't rude to her.
But she was cutting her eyes. She wasn't happy to see her. She wasn't happy.
Because guess what? No one told her about that. And this is her home. So when somebody comes into your home and you weren't told about it, how you gonna feel?
Exactly. And she even said to Jason, "I'm hurt. I am hurt." When you're hurt, you're going to act a certain way. I'm not a ratchet girl, and I'm not. But if you step to me in a certain way,
could have fooled me.
You tried it, but you did. But if I'm put in a situation where I'm uncomfortable, you may sense some things about me that you're like, ooh, no, that's a misjudgment. I feel that Chardonnay acted accordingly. She was classy about it. She did not go off like a stereotypical black girl. I don't know. I might have went off and snatched her.
It almost turned into basketball wipes up in there.
No, it did not.
But here's the thing. If you switched Kelly and Chardonnay, think about it. If the roles are reversed and Chardonnay came up like, "How you doing?" How do you think this situation would have gone? I feel like Kelly would have acted the same exact way that Chardonnay acted, and you wouldn't have called Kelly right.
No, because she a Becky. She a Becky. That's why. She's a Becky. That's why. Keep going.
Whoa.
But hold on.
Sure did. I sure did.
But let me tell you something about Kelly. I'll tell you. She doesn't look like the Becky she used to be.
That's the thing.
Beckisha.
Yes, you tried it.
She looked like she got a little swag.
That's what
because Kelly used to take a lot of stuff from Jason before, and this is a whole new Kelly. This is a Kelly that eat, pray, love, travel the world, and has her own. So,
can she be happy?
No, I understand. I want her to be happy, but one thing that I do appreciate Jason saying was that, you know what, Chardonnay is that sassy thing that keeps me in check.
That's what I said.
That.
That's what I said.
He needs that. So, but it seems to me as if you are depicting Chardonnay to be some sassy mouth, talking slick, hoochie ghetto girl. And
has she did that before? Has she exuded that behavior before?
But that's not all that she is, though. That's not all that she is. And in this episode, we see maturity with her. If this would have been the Chardonnay that I met first episode, she would have acted completely.
I want to hear what Brandon says.
Tell me,
Brandon got something ugly to say.
As the athlete, as the pro athlete, I have to agree with both of you because this is what Kevin's saying.
Yeah, preach it.
He's not saying she's some snappy black girl or she's ratchet or anything like that. He's using those words, but he's not trying to depict that about her character. What he is trying to say is that, remember the first episode when I said about the white girl was winning right now because, you know, the white girl had Malik and she was, you know, she was caring for Malik and all that. And you guys were saying that she was just being too needy. She was being there for him. What athletes need is that, I don't want to say needy, but that nurturing woman mixed in with that my mama in there. You know, that my mama, boy, go ahead, clean that up. Boy, go do this.
So
Boy,
you're saying this?
It's a mix of
You're
both.
saying this in reference to Kelly because Kelly was not that. Kelly was a doormat with Jason,
and that's
she
exactly
was
what
not
a divorce.
sassy at all.
But here's the thing. I do think I believe you 100%. And I agree with you, but I think Chardonnay is the mix you're talking about. 'Cause
Exactly.
No. Let me tell you why. Because Chardonnay has the ability to be very versatile with Jason, very vulnerable with him. You see her cry. She doesn't go off on Jason and say, "What the f are you talking about? This chick is up in my house. You made that." She didn't do that. She said, "I'm hurt," and she started crying.
And she also
that's a vulnerable woman, but she also needed to let him know, "This is my house. This is my family. I'm here day in and day out,
Every
doing
single
this
day.
stuff for you. I clean this house. I feed that baby who goes off on me and talks crazy to me, and you don't check her, and I still don't beat her down to the ground."
And you know what it is? I personally think it's because she's a black woman. Even when she's vulnerable, she still comes off hard. And it's like, here you have this woman crying. That is at her most vulnerable moment.
Right.
But I think if she was a white girl, and this is just my opinion, it would come off more soft and more not.
And that's not fair because it's the same exact emotion, but black women get a bad rap.
Exactly. There you go, Megan. There you go.
This is what I'm gonna say.
See?
This is what I'm gonna say. To Chardonnay's defense, she has a right to defend home. Okay, that is her home. She is the backbone of that home, and she has the right to defend home. Okay, and with Kelly coming in there, I admit I'm not sitting here saying that we should condone the way that Kelly acted. I think a lot of what she did was inappropriate. Hence, kissing him, which we'll get to later. I'm not excusing those behaviors from her. I think that Chardonnay had a right to be upset. Whether she acted ratchet, whether she, acted wholesome about the matter, however she acted, it was provoked. So I feel it was rightfully justified. But with that being
said.
Keep in mind, no one knew that Kelly was even coming except Brittany. So that's already a hostile environment as it is. But the person who I put it on JP. I put it on Jason Pitts. You're the man, dude. You're the athlete. You're the guy. Like, I put it on all my athlete friends and stuff like that. You're causing this drama. You can easily separate these two women. Say, baby, you're my baby, Chardonnay. I love you, baby. You're here. Blah blah blah. Kelly, this is what it's gonna be. You're the mother of my child. We obviously have 20 years deep together. You know, we have even more years because our baby's not 18 yet. He's the one who has to separate.
Well, given Jason's personality and watching the show in the past seasons, I feel like he did act accordingly. Like, he reached out to Chardonnay when Chardonnay went up the stairs. He left Kelly and was like, "Let me go and run after her." Even like he excused Kelly, was like, "I think that it's time for you to go." Jason's not a sensitive guy.
And
he's not really, and he's
acted
not
accordingly is making out with her.
Making out.
No,
with her.
I'm not. That's after the fact. I'm saying, like, if this woman comes into my home and is making my present wife upset, what I'm going to do is excuse it so that I can diffuse the situation. So I feel that in that moment.
So if you were Jason, what would you have done?
Exactly what he did. I'm not talking. Really? Are we on that part?
Yeah, that's part of it.
We're not.
That's acting accordingly, right?
No, I'm talking about when Kelly initially came to the house and the part where Chardonnay was upset and was crying and Jason was like, "Okay, Kelly, I think that you should go." Now, I'm not excusing Jason's behavior when he went over there to see Kelly and they ended up making out. I'm not excusing that at all. But it happened. So, boom.
What I want to know is, okay, so we'll move past that whole the whole scene where they're at the house and Britt Brad didn't tell anything. So now Tasha sees Kelly Chardonnay's supposed to be the new BFF.
Right.
And you know how you women are when it comes to a new BFF coming into the lane. Oh, that's my homegirl. She's trying to steal my homegirl. So now Chardonnay, I would say, is hating a little bit.
Oh, I'm not going to say that. Tasha's wrong. Period.
Yeah, no.
Let me tell you why Tasha's
Oh
wrong.
my gosh.
Look how she did. As soon as that doorbell was rung, Tasha came in there like, Kelly!
She hasn't seen her in
Wait a
how long?
minute.
She hasn't seen her in how long?
That's not her best friend then. You can't let somebody, because what Kelly says is, I haven't been here in 3 years. So I'm assuming you've talked to Jason. I'm assuming you've talked to Tasha, because that's your BFF. But if she gonna come in here and act like she has not seen you, that's not your BFF. First of all, again, you are stepping into someone's home. You address the people from that home first. You say, hey, Chardonnay, my homegirl, what's up? Kelly! Don't ever go into somebody's house and you don't respect them. And so that's why I have a problem, because Tasha literally just forgot that Chardonnay has been there for her, that Chardonnay is keeping her big, huge secret. She just threw it to the side. She was like, give me some Perrier, get me, whatever. Like, she was just being real rude to Chardonnay. And I think that is sad. Like, yes, you Miss Kelly, but you don't ever do your friends who've been there for you when nobody else was there. When your friend Kelly went off for 3 years, who was there for you?
Exactly.
Chardonnay.
And Chardonnay did not snap. She did not go off. Nope. She was just like, let me just take this glass. Which I feel like her character should have stood up a little bit, because now it seems like she doesn't really have a backbone. Like, we see it a little bit, but I'm like, this isn't the Chardonnay that I fell in love with.
Well,
like,
this is why I think Chardonnay's a balance. Mm-hmm. Because there's been times in the past, like last season, where we were like, she needs to stand up. Why she let Tasha run all over her? She's a good balance.
Yeah.
She's not the mouthy chick all the time, but then she's also not the doormat.
She's not a balance. She just has gossip on her. She has blackmail on her.
No, but
That's
she,
a difference.
but
That's
she
a big
doesn't
difference.
but she doesn't act like Tasha acts. Tasha is ratchet. Tasha's the extreme. And
trash box.
Right, and Kelly's the other extreme. I do believe Chardonnay's in the middle.
I do.
The true mixture, if Jason Pitts could have his cake and eat it too, would be some Chardonnay with Kelly Pitts in it. Because Chardonnay could never, and Fallon, I know you're one of those wifey type athlete girls. You know that Chardonnay could never be a Sunbeam president. Thank you. Bam. So how is that balance?
And I wonder why. I'll keep my mouth shut on that.
No. Are you going to help me out?
But I think she has, and even Kelly says that to him. She says, give her time. She's new to this. I was in this for 20 years, and it nearly drove me crazy. But Chardonnay is brand new. She's brand spanking new. Chardonnay is think about it. She's come from nothing. She's worked her way up. Exactly, but she's worked really hard. She owns her own spa. She employs people. This is the chick you want.
What I see is them toning down Chardonnay's personality because of the role that they want her to play, or that athlete's wife that they want her to play. Because what athlete's wife do you know has all that mouth?
Oh gosh!
They want someone that's going to do what they say and just blah. There you go.
No, not necessarily. I mean, I think you're thinking of the trophy wife or the passive wife that's just there just to do whatever.
Isn't that athlete's wife?
No, not
I would say maybe there's a stereotypical athlete's wife, or a stigma behind it, but I wouldn't say all athletes' wife are like that. I think it's unfair to generalize all of them.
Yeah.
But I think of anything, Brandon knows. But I think of anything, they're probably trying to show growth in Chardonnay's character. Mm-hmm. I think if anything, they're just trying to show her growth, because I will admit.
So here's my question: why can't she be an athlete's wife?
She is an athlete's wife.
No one says she couldn't be.
I thought the conversation was that.
No, he said she couldn't be the president of the Sunbeam.
Why?
Ever.
Why not?
Ever.
Why?
Chardonnay is not that. She can't cook biscuits. She can't cook.
Okay, Kelly couldn't either. Keep going. Kelly couldn't either. Keep going.
But Kelly could structure stuff. She could put together a wives' night out, wine night out, and all that
common
stuff.
sense.
Chardonnay can't do that.
Yes, she can. She runs a freaking business.
No, she can't do that.
Okay, so that's one thing. What's the second thing? Why can't
going.
she be a Sunbeam president? I'm interested.
Why can't Chardonnay be something?
Yeah.
And this is me just having Brandon's back. She's just not loving and caring enough. I feel like she's still learning how to love her own man. Like she's not nurturing enough. To me, she only has Tasha as a friend. She isn't reaching out to other women on the show. Maybe Keira, but that's it. that's not in her personality. You see it. She's not outgoing. She cares about her man, her stepdaughter, and her girl, and that's really about it, and her business. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing, not everybody can be the Sunbeam president. That's just not in her personality. She doesn't care enough to be or please everyone. The only thing she cares about is pleasing her man and her family.
You got to have that spunk.
Now,
Wow, I don't see that.
You
Well,
don't see that.
I think I do agree partially with that, but I do think she has it in her. She just hasn't done it. She's not at the point yet.
I don't think she cares to do that. I think her focus is taking care of Jason and her family. She doesn't care to go above and beyond and be outgoing and and not everybody cares to do that. I don't see that in her. That's just not her. And there will be somebody who else will be another. Right. I don't see it in Keira either. That's just
So we
I
can
see
just
what you're saying.
we can all agree that he just needs a woman who can balance the elements.
Well, he doesn't
All
need
the
a Sunbeam
elements.
president, though. That's not what he's like. That's not exactly what he wants.
yeah.
You know,
who
he had
needs?
that and he dropped it. So
You know who he needs? He needs Maria Menounos.
Yeah.
Because her show premieres tonight. And she balanced the elements. She does all that.
She
Tell us
does
about
everything.
the show.
She's
does.
chasing Maria. You literally have to chase this woman. And I am so glad and proud to say she's our boss.
Yes, she
You know,
is.
we
Right.
can hardly keep up with her, and we love that about her. You know, she's
Right.
doing a little bit of everything, and she was able to put AfterBuzz TV. So you guys out there, if you love AfterBuzz TV, you will love Chasing with Maria. So make sure you tune into Oxygen to watch the show.
Yeah,
Every
tonight at 10 o'clock.
every Tuesday, 10, 9 Central, Chasing Maria Menounos.
And then watch the after show here once you
Right.
get
Yeah,
done watching
AfterBuzz
it.
TV.
Yes.
After you watch her, though. Now, the next topic we have.
wait, before we go into that, make sure that you guys go to iTunes and rate, comment, and share.
Always.
Make sure that you share with a friend. Give us 5 stars if you love this show. Show us your support by doing that.
And we
Can
do
I
love
say-
all comments, and we respond to
We do.
all
We-
comments
yes,
as
we
well.
do.
Kevin, I was just about to say that. Some of the comments, and you know, they're real. They thought that we were being too hard on the game. They're like, it's just a show. You guys are taking it too
No.
seriously.
We're fans.
No.
The thing is, we're
Shout out
giving,
to you
we're not
guys
here,
who are
we're not
watching
here.
and paying attention and actually, you know, caring. And you know what? Maybe we do take it too serious, but we love the show.
We're passionate. We're passionate.
Exactly.
You know?
We're
Yeah.
not here to sit here and praise the show. We're here to give it a real, truthful perspective and to keep it real.
You guys out there, keep on rating, keep on commenting. We love them. We want to hear what you guys think. What do
Absolutely.
you think about Kelly coming back? Do you think she's a
Right.
great addition? Do you think her and Jason Pitts will get back?
I love it, but the one dude who tweeted us saying that we took the episodes too serious and stuff. I have to say, as a professional athlete, everybody already complains about how we're in the real news acting dumb, doing a whole bunch of dumb stuff. So why are we on a sitcom beating up police and doing all that other stuff like that? You know, like that's the only problem I have with it. But that's whatever. It kind of brings us to our controversy: Jason Pitts versus Ty. Ty has the dirt, the gossip on him about the steroids
The
incident.
juice,
The juice.
honey, that
Dude.
juice.
My biceps didn't get the
Yeah, you need to
Can
take
you
some more
please
juice.
put that
natural.
away?
Yeah.
natural.
You need to take some juice.
So you saw him with a stack of cash. That, really? You
Stack
gonna
of
tell me
cash.
to take juice?
Stack of
You gonna
cash.
take apple
Going,
juice.
yes,
Only
stack
thing
of
in his
cash.
body is apple juice. He has a stack of cash out. He's ready to pay this guy. What do you think? Would you pay somebody in that situation who has dirt on you, Ashley?
No.
Yes, I would.
I would not.
Yeah.
You gotta protect
your legacy. Yeah, I was
like
about to say
Kelly
that. You got to defend the legacy.
But no,
What's
but
that?
Chardonnay says a really good thing. She says you pay him now, you're gonna have to keep paying him. She's
Exactly,
telling
and
the
that's
truth.
common sense. It's like it's
yeah.
never going to end. And I feel like every mistake you make in life is a lesson to be learned, and you should own up to that mistake. So if anything happens in my present or that happened in my past, if it comes out, it just comes out. Who cares? We are all human, and I'm pretty sure that he is not the only athlete that has taken
Whoa.
the juice.
Whoa.
What?
What kind of is that like? Hold on, is that like a disclaimer, or are you just saying that? Like, what are you saying?
No, I'm just saying that he is not the only one that has made the mistake, and it's time for him to own up to it. As Megan said, as well as Chardonnay, if you pay him, you're going to have to keep paying him. There's no way that it's going to be a one-time
Honey,
payment,
right, the truth.
and it's over.
The truth will set you free.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to say. The true way, if you really want to put an end to any and everything, you just have to be honest with it, and you got to confront it. Now, Also, I was gonna say, eventually things do get out. Like, even think of the real world. All the
It's gonna
athletes that
come
take
out anyway.
steroids, it comes out pretty much every other month. There's a new athlete that was caught, violating the drug policy. So, with that being said, if you get it off your chest, you have nothing at all to worry about. If you pay, you're gonna have to keep cutting checks.
I would like to say this about Jason. Like, everybody handles things differently, and he just might not be ready for that. And I think eventually he'll come to that terms. But like, I know this is a bad analogy, but just like quitting smoking, everybody knows it's bad for them, but some people can't do it cold turkey. They can't just cut it off. Sometimes, it has to be processed and they have to go through situations. Before they can let it go. So I think with Jason, I think what's going to happen with him is that he's going to be paying him and then realize it's not even worth it. And then he's going to have to look himself in the mirror. He wants the street with his name on it. He wants the parade. But when it comes down to it, he's going to have to look himself in the mirror and try to be honest with himself. And that's what it comes down to. Everyone, can you look in the mirror and be honest with yourself?
Your conscience will eat at you.
And right now, he's on this high of, what? I did this for my team. I'm going to ride it out. He has selfish ambitions.
A question. Why do you think that he should have paid Ty off?
I don't think he should have. What I'm saying is that everybody comes to terms with being truthful with themselves at a different pace. Some people could literally look themselves in the mirror and be okay with who they are. Everybody, who you are really, people think of themselves as somebody differently. Not everybody can look at themselves as who they are, and that's who they really are. People have, I'm not a bad person because I steal because I'm feeding my family.
Right.
They think it as I'm feeding my family, but other people think it as, no, you're stealing. That's still wrong. So I think Jason, he thinks, what? I provided for my family. I got a championship for my team. It was worth doing.
But you cheated to do it. That's like if I'm feeding my family by going to sell drugs or robbing people.
That's not that.
I mean, you can.
But he doesn't see it that way. He sees it as, what? I did this for my team. I provided for my family. Like,
he knew what he was doing.
Hold on.
I understand what you're saying, Fallon, but he's no fool. He knew what he was doing.
He knows what he was doing, but he hasn't come to terms of realizing, like, that's not how you go about it. He's like, I ended my career. I gave my body. I gave years. I gave basically, he gave his life. Look at the concussions that he had. He could have given his life. So in his mind, he's like, what? You know how many concussions I had? I could have, lost it for my family and myself. So what's a little steroids?
Yeah. Go ahead, B.
I look at it as a situation is because we're athletes. He cheated. He's wrong. He cheated. He shouldn't have done steroids. He shouldn't have done the juice. But I feel like the fans bring some sort of pressure on you.
Yeah.
You look on that website.
Pressure to perform.
And they're like, oh, well, Jason Pitts had 50 touchdowns last year. He only had 49 this year. He's losing a step. It's a situation like that. So some guys, they really do go into it to keep that extra step, to keep themselves playing and doing well. I'm not saying it's right, by no means. It's illegal. We shouldn't be doing it. But at the same time, guys feel like they got to eat. They feel like they have to eat. Their family has to eat. Yeah,
right.
So making millions is not enough for your family to eat?
The thing is that, like, kind of like drugs, in LA, weed is legal. You go to New Jersey, it's illegal. You'll get locked up for that. But here, it's not that big of a thing, so people are doing it. So it's just like it all depends on the individual. In Jason's mind, he thinks that doing steroids isn't a crime. He still worked his ass off, and he gave, excuse my language, he gave, Fat,
let me ask you a question. Do you think, you keep defending him, do you think it's right that he did it?
What, steroids? Girl, you hesitated way too long. That made you think yes.
That means you mean yes.
Right. It's no hesitation. You mean yes.
I can understand
Fallon, you just revealed your integrity to us.
No,
okay?
I can understand him. I have compassion for him. I can understand him. Do I think it's right? No, because then you're going to have all these young athletes shooting themselves up and risking their health.
Oh, they're already doing it.
Exactly. Yeah. So do I agree with it? No. But do I understand him? Yes.
Yeah, and I was going to say, just to feed off of what Brandon said, said, I 100% agree. Like Alex Rodriguez, one of the most infamous steroid users, said there's a lot of pressure to perform. So I totally get that. But you got to realize that comes with the territory. If you're going to be a professional athlete, you have to realize that.
But think about it. Since you're 10 years old, you're out there in practice every single weekend. And for 10 years, you gave your life for this game.
Yeah.
And you need to be the best. And you keep on getting all this pressure. Damn, I feel like I'm a football player.
You do. You coming? I think you're about to come hit me
But
over
no,
here.
that's why you got to look. Let us know what you think.
Foul
It's
about the
getting
chart.
heated in here. Let us know what you think on the comment section, please.
That's a lot, and you're talking about pressure. You got me wanting to go and get into the weight room.
Like,
but
can you imagine you giving everything for this game?
Okay, but
I'll
hold
tell
on.
you,
This to me
Fallon.
is a worse. This is worse though. Do you think Kelly was it her position to go, hey, I paid him off, it's my family? Do you think what she did was correct, and did she reveal it in the correct way?
You know what? I give props to Kelly. She has her family's back, and that's why I love her. Regardless if it's right or wrong. I'm sorry. If I had a husband who was provided for my family and had my kids back, you know what? I'll be honest, I do the same thing.
That is not her husband. One, that's not her husband.
That's her father's
That
child.
is her. Yes, that is her father's child. But they are no longer together. That is no longer your family. You are Britt Brat's mother.
But
that is it. Period. Point blank. Stay out my man. All up in my man's house. Cause you all up in here.
Is that, you know what? People can get divorced. You can't take away children.
Right.
That's a kid though. That's a child. She said, I am trying to protect my legacy. You have nothing to do with this legacy anymore. This is your daughter.
I don't know.
You know what?
I will say this. Here's what I think.
Come in my house. Come in my house with that.
Here's
Come in my
what I
house. Come in my house. See what happens.
She does have a right. I do believe Kelly is still in the family. No matter if people are divorced, she's still family, whether we're together or not. That's number one. Number two, she is trying to protect the legacy of her daughter. I respect that. But here's the issue with that. If this is your family, you talk about your decisions with your family.
I agree. You talk about
and here's
it,
the thing. If she didn't want to ask Jason or Chardonnay their opinion about if she should pay with her money, she should have never told nobody that she paid Ty off. She should have never brought it up. She should have been like, I don't know why they didn't bring. I don't know why this never came to light. She should have played dumb.
But why is she so concerned with protecting the legacy of their family? It's Jason's legacy. That is Jason's legacy.
Which is in turn her daughter. Her daughter could go to school, and then a whole entire city is against her husband and against her daughter.
Go ahead, Brandon.
She was with him shooting in the gym. She was with him. Chardonnay was with him after
20 years.
shooting in the gym.
20 years.
You know the song by
There's
Drake.
people that you just have loyalty forever, and that's what it is.
And we're gonna wrap that topic up. We're talking about loyalty. Keira is trying to be the new Kelly Pitts.
Snooze
sweating,
fest.
sweating my boy Blue.
I agree.
Fest.
She pops up.
Can y'all just write them out of the script from now on?
Please.
No.
You know what? Bring Derwin back.
No.
X out Keira. X out.
Yay,
What's his
Derwin.
name? I forgot his name. What's
J.R.
Paul dude's name?
Ellis.
Blue.
No. We're not gonna do that. I play basketball with Pooch Hall at 24 Hour Fitness. I've seen
Love
J.R.
him.
Ellis.
Which is off the chain.
J.R. Ellis is a cool dude, man.
I'm
He's
not
tall.
talking about
He looks
J.R.
like a football
Ellis. I'm
player.
talking about Blue.
Okay.
At 24?
No.
I'm not talking. I
character
love J.R. Ellis. I'm talking about him. I'm talking about Blue.
Yeah,
We
Main
can't write his
character.
character. You know who needs to go?
Who?
My fake cousin, Lauren London. Her character needs to go. I'm Brandon London. That's Lauren London. There's no relation, but
You know, X
maybe-
them both out. Their relationship is a snooze fest.
Done.
I pretty much fell asleep.
Right.
What the heck?
I don't condone violence against women at all, but I wouldn't be mad if Blue punched Keira in the face. I wouldn't, because she's like, girl, get away. This man
She's
is
like
doing,
a
he is doing
parasite.
community
Community
service.
service. Chris
What?
Brown, community
And then when
service
she
picking up
dumped that
trash.
trash on the ground, I would have kicked her in her rib.
Oh, Lord.
It's just, I think her character is just showing way too much desperation, and it's just annoying. It's hard to follow, and I don't think it's really conducive to the storyline that was going on. Their scene was just so out of. It just had nothing to do to move the story or episode along.
They're forcing it, and they're turning this black athlete savior. He's a savior. First pick of the draft from Stanford.
The savior.
His dad is a colonel.
can't.
He's a savior. Look how black athletes are looked at.
Okay.
Come on now. Pants sagging, doing all that, doing the
Hitting cops,
Soldier
yeah.
Boy, hey, all
Hitting
that
cops,
stuff. Look how we
beating
looked
cops.
at. But this guy came from Stanford. He has great upbringing, and now he's fighting cops. Now he's doing community service.
But that's not Keira's fault.
That is Keira's fault.
No,
Women
no.
will always
You
bring
know
down.
what?
They'll bring down.
Nobody.
an athlete. They'll
That's
bring down
a
an athlete.
scapegoat. Nobody
I do
can
believe
make you
Keira
do
is
nothing.
bringing him
You
down.
don't want
You know
to
what?
do.
Well, you know.
She's contributing to his actions.
It doesn't
He was
matter.
the
Right,
reason.
and said, you know what? There's the cops right there. Go ahead, go get a DUI.
Right.
So wait,
I'm
time
good.
out.
Peace out.
So time out.
on now.
So you're saying,
Come on
so
now.
you're saying that a woman can bring up a man, uplift a man, get them together, but a woman can't bring down a man?
No.
It goes both ways.
No. Because here's the thing: a woman can encourage a man as much as she wants, but if he doesn't receive that, she'll never uplift him. He has to receive what she's giving. So if he's receiving the negativity from Keira, then
she's
he'll be
bringing him
brought
down.
But that's his choice. That's his choice.
Well, she's
to let her-
contributing to it. You're letting her off the hook.
I got
Nobody
something to
can
say.
make you do nothing
I have
you
something
don't
to
want
say.
to do.
So,
You know what?
So you think Keira is acting accordingly?
No, she's crazy. But
Okay.
if you're surrounded by crazy people, what is it? Are you going to be like, well, the reason I did this was because of them? The cops. You see that the judge didn't make Keira do no community
That's true.
service.
But
They
you're
live
acting
in the
like
same
her
building.
behavior and her actions do not contribute to what his downfall.
Okay, again, we're responsible for our own actions.
I agree with you on
That's
that.
true.
I
You
agree.
two, hold on. I have to see what Ashley has to say.
You know
because
what?
I think
It's-
we're gonna agree
Go
on
ahead.
this.
You know what? This would just solve all of this bickering. X them out. The storyline.
No,
Let's just X them out.
no.
Take them out. Let's just bring Derwin in and get him a new little boo thing on the side. And then we good. We got Kelly. You know what? Just bring Melanie back.
I just
okay, you know what?
I just feel like we're adults, and I understand Keira hasn't had a real relationship before. That's the first person she ever gave her body to, but it's just like, you are an adult. Talk it out. Just be like, you know what? I love you. I'm fighting myself to get over you. Can we work this out?
It's so high
Is there a
school.
way? Exactly. It's high school. You're beyond high school. You're beyond college. You're an adult. Like, you should be able to be real with somebody and show them your heart.
Honestly, I
Well-
just think that they're struggling with trying to keep the both of them relevant in a lot of these episodes. I personally feel, because I just don't think there's really room for them. They're just trying to start something to keep it going.
You know what they could substitute that? More of Tasha's pregnancy.
Wait, is that a prediction?
No, it's not a prediction. Yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about Tasha hiding her pregnancy. Then we'll go to predictions. But I feel as though they're not acknowledging her pregnancy. You're gonna allow this lady to say she has an STD over being pregnant?
That's crazy.
Disgusting.
That's disturbing. Yeah.
Hey, but I'll tell you, in Tasha's defense, she's like 40 something. She would rather say she had an STD
Right.
than be pregnant by somebody she doesn't even know who
Right.
she's pregnant by.
That's more embarrassing. That's
Like,
way more
exactly.
way
You could
more
sit there
embarrassing.
And be like, you know what? I've been sleeping. No, I was faithful to one guy and he was sleeping around. He gave me,
Really?
something.
Really?
But to sit there and admit
Really?
you don't know.
I don't know who my baby daddy. Right.
So that's worse than
I
saying
think
you have the
both
class.
are-
Sorry, that is so
Good job,
much
Tasha.
worse.
You did what you were supposed to do.
I disagree. I think that is equally embarrassing.
No, it's not. 'Cause guess what?
That
You
is
can, she can take antibiotics and get rid of an STD. You can't get rid of the fact you don't know who your baby daddy is until your baby is popped out the womb.
Have an abortion.
Well-
But I don't condone
No.
it.
Please,
Hey, she can get a paternity test.
Speaking of
You can't
abortion,
do
Not
that
till
until
after
the
the
baby
baby's
comes
born.
out.
Well,
That's
I
what
mean,
I'm
still after it's born.
Okay, but it's embarrassing.
And as a female,
And it's not
let me tell
embarrassing
you,
to have an
as
STD?
a female,
Not
you
as
are
worse as not knowing who your baby daddy is.
I
They
think
don't
both
have-
are bad.
Look, let me tell you, because I'm Maury, they don't ask who has an STD. No, they ask people to come
Would
on
you
there who
rather
don't
have
know
an
who their baby
STD?
daddy is.
Would you rather have an STD or not know who your baby daddy is?
I would rather have an STD. Go ahead, Tasha.
Yes.
Not even gonna lie. I would rather.
Stop scratching.
I would rather.
He
Right, because you could always say that.
Right.
You can't blame nobody else if you don't know who your baby daddy is.
I don't know,
I
y'all.
cannot believe y'all are
I'm gonna go
endorsing
ahead and-
this.
Hold on. Right here, right quick. Raise your hand. Would you rather say you had an STD? Raise your hand. Would you rather say you didn't know who your baby daddy was? Raise your hand. Or your baby mama?
Yeah.
I know who's my
I would know. I would know.
Very
Exactly.
responsible athlete.
I would, because I would
I'll
never
let
be
you-
put in that situation. I would know who my baby daddy was,
Obviously,
but I would never have no
But
STD.
clearly, if you was
But she said
Tasha, what would you
hypothetically.
rather do?
Hypothetically,
If you got drunk one night.
hypothetically, in Tasha's body and her character, yeah, I'm gonna have an STD.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna go ahead and have an
Exactly.
STD.
If you was
Oh, so you
See,
scratched
y'all,
the
y'all
toe.
don't get it because y'all are men. That's why.
Let's take that into the predictions. We want to predict what's
Predictions.
going on next week. Oh, we got music.
And now,
Yes.
your AfterBuzz
Where the lights
TV
at?
Predictions.
I want to start with Kevin John. Kevin John, please tell me about your prediction for next week.
You know, my prediction for next week is that somehow Blue and Keira get written out for whatever reason. We just don't see them come out next episode. Maybe they both got hurt or they got hit in by a bus or something, but there's just something not there. So realistically, will it happen? No, but you know.
Ashley Murray?
It's Ashley Nina Murray. Boom. Just saying. Oh. Boom. But I predict that Chardonnay and Kelly will actually sit down, have that talk that they need to have, and then actually become friends or more acquaintances. And then Kelly is going to stab Chardonnay in the back and try and push up on Jason. And then Jason is going to be like, no, I'm with Chardonnay. And then that's when they're going to fight.
Why the white girl got to stab the black girl?
It's not about white or black. We're talking about women in a real life situation. And I'm predicting.
Keep them real, Brandon. Keep them real.
I keep it real, man. When
keep
it comes
real,
to this.
You know what? What's your prediction for next week?
My prediction is that Keira's crazy ass is going to get Blue in trouble yet again. But J.R. Ellis, man, we're trying to get you on the show again, just like last year. So I'm not going to say anything like, oh, we need to get them off the show. They're great characters. We need them, but that drama is just too much. The Tasha pregnancy thing, I don't know. I've never been through any situation like that, so I can't predict anything like that. But what I can say is that Kelly Pitts coming back into the situation is it's gonna make Jason appreciate Chardonnay more. You know, I think it's gonna mold Chardonnay into that woman that he needs, he wants, and that should be by his side.
Do I have to say a prediction or what I want?
Say what you want. Say what you want.
It's your birthday.
Thank you.
Come on, Fal.
Okay, for my birthday, I want Kelly and Jason to get back together. I do. I mean, Chardonnay is cool.
Ashley about to throw a cup at you.
And it's not even a white or black thing, Ashley. None of that.
Oh, no, it's not that, honey.
I just feel like, you know, you put in 20 years and you can see the love. They sat there and kissed and they missed each other so much. And I personally think if they went to counseling and if Jason was retired at the time, he would have been a little more mature to try to salvage their relationship.
Now I'll quickly interject. Now
we're
you
gotta
say
it because you gotta save it. You gotta save it.
We're on predictions.
I'm gonna say this. I'll say this. The kiss between Kelly and Jason will definitely come to light. And what he did was stupid, which is ram himself into the tree because Priuses are expensive to fix. And
I would have did that versus saying I had an STD, but go ahead.
But either way,
just saying, it's a man thing.
It's gonna come out, and Chardonnay's gonna have a really hard time trusting him. And I don't think they're gonna get back. I don't think Kelly and Jason are gonna get back together because they have a friendship now, and I don't think she has the correct personality and demeanor to be what he needs, which is somebody to keep him in check when he needs to be, and someone to be vulnerable with him when he needs to be.
Boom, bam. Where can we find you, boo?
You can always find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Meg Scoop, like scoop of ice cream.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at FitWithFallon. And make sure to go to fitwithfallon.com for all your celebrity and fitness news.
You can find me on Twistagram. You can find me at, I'm making up stuff.
Too much Chardonnay.
Exactly. You can find me at Twitter or Instagram at HeyKevinJohn on my website, www.itskevinjohn.com.
And you can find me on Twitter at HeyAshleyGray. And you can also find me at Ashley Nina Marie Gray on Instagram. Shout out to D Swag, Trini B Way 27 on Twitter. You are a loyal, faithful fan of ours. Thank you so much for listening every single week.
And you can find me at Cultured Athlete on Instagram and Twitter, and my website, Brendan London TV. That's the wrap up for season 7. Oh, I messed up. Meg Scoop hasn't said her goodbyes and all that.
Yes, she did.
Okay,
well, y'all point to her. It's my first time since last year, y'all.
Episode 5, bye.
Thanks for watching.
We wanted you to say.
We want to hear your YouTube comments.
Bye.
Oh.
Thank you for being with us, Megan. Congratulations on being on the show.
I was doing so good, too, man. Don't hate it. Hey, thank you guys for watching, man. We love y'all. AfterBuzz TV.
We want to see those comments.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye. We
views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.